Ah, yes, Dynasty Warriors. A game that many of us love, a game that many of us hate. But when I personally think of Dynasty Warriors, I'm immediately brought to the classics. On the original PS2, Dynasty Warriors 3, 4, and 5 were my jam, and I sunk many hours into these games, both solo and co-op. I'm a huge Musou Warriors fan. Ever since I was a kid, I remember playing these games with my buddies and brothers, just couch co-op, hack and slashing away. So these early titles are the pioneer games to the Dynasty Warriors Musou universe. In my eyes, of course. I've seen the series grow to what it is today. It has paved the way for Koei titles like Samurai Warriors, Warriors Orochi, and other modern spin-offs that Koei are actively producing to this day. Newer Warriors fans may be more familiar with the likes of Hyrule, Fate, Token Rambu, Pirate Warriors, even Fire Emblem. These games are fun and action-packed. But how did these type of games come to being? And why such a video on such an old game? Well, my goal is to bring light to the birth of a franchise in gaming, whom 20 years later is still making modern adaptations and spin-offs to the hack and slash genre we know and love today.
There are waiting lists and tickets just to stand in line and get a chance to buy PlayStation 2.
There's a 7 o'clock a.m.
That'd be 14 hours.
On October 26 in the year 2000, Koei dropped Dynasty Warriors 2 on the PS2. Yes, Dynasty Warriors 2 was a launch title for the PS2. For perspective, these 28 games were also released on day one of the PS2, one of which being another Koei title, Kessen, a game that focuses on strategy in feudal Japan era. This may be news to you. Maybe you've never even heard of Dynasty Warriors 2. We will discuss the game for what it is and what it was back in the day, and maybe a brief consideration on how you should play it today, considering we're about to pass the 23rd anniversary of the game's release. Surprisingly, I never played Dynasty Warriors 2 growing up. I started with Dynasty Warriors 3. So with that being said, coming back to this title years later took some grit. I mean grit as in getting your shot
Tough guy.
on the early stages of PS2 AI, but also patience, right? This is a game that laid the foundation for open world hack and slash with large scale maps and open combat. For the time, this open world of battle hack and slash was an ambitious move by the creators at Koei. Considering Dynasty Warriors 1 on the PS1 was a 1v1 2D fighting game, but Koei wanted to enter the next generation of gaming with a new and original identity. Plus, basing the game series on the ROTK novel, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, requires a more Shin, or true battle system experience of the renowned Three Kingdoms era during the Han China that was full of warlords and chaos amongst a collapsing dynasty. So the shift from the PS1's Dynasty Warriors 1v1 style to an open world battlefield with a 1 versus 1,000 made more sense for a Shin, or true experience, to the Three Kingdoms. With a cool name change and brand new 3D camera angle, Koei transformed Sengoku Musou in Japan to Shin Sengoku Musou, or in English, True Three Kingdoms Unrivaled. Seeing as that wouldn't be an eye-catcher in the West as far as title goes, Koei went with a more basic approach to the naming series. Enter Dynasty Warriors 2. So with that being said, the Dynasty Warriors games released in Japan always have a title number before the Western releases, even though they're the same game, just in a different language. The combat for Dynasty Warriors 2 is painfully simplistic. You have a charge, 4 normal attacks, 3 combo attacks, and your special, or Musou. But unlike the latter games, you get 0 additional chain movesets, individual weapons, or items. The game uses a basic leveling mechanic. Following a mission, you are brought to an arcade-style leveling system. That is pretty generic, giving the player no choice as to what to upgrade. This progress increases your character's stats such as health, attack, defense, and special attack. This didn't help with replayability, as you aren't hunting for specific weapons or items, but generally all around upgrading the stats of your character. However, this was fixed and moved to a different approach in the later games to help with replayability, as well as adding co-op, but more on that another time. One combat mechanic that was done well in this game was the blocking and parrying system. This allowed you to interrupt enemy attacks by holding L1 plus square, giving you some ground to regain control of the skirmish. This was removed in later games, but Koei kept a form of that counterattack style in Dynasty Warriors 4. Fans new to the series, picking this up for the first time like I did, will find similarities right off the bat. Example, defeating enemy officers still drop items, such as attack, defense upgrades, that boost character stats post-battle, as well as quick items that temporarily raise your strength, defense, and muso during battle, to give you an edge on the enemy. But where Dynasty Warriors 2 got the gameplay right is the realistic flow of a large-scale battle. I can't tell you how many times in modern Warriors games I take out a battalion of enemies in a matter of seconds only to see I haven't had any real challenge or damage from the opposing enemies. There's something about running around the map hopelessly looking for health. If you're curious what that looks like, just check out my live streams. But modern Warriors games are just too easy on normal difficulty compared to their predecessors. And seeing as this gaming style is based on war-driven Han China, players should be given a challenge. And this game did just that. Try rushing the main camp to defeat the enemy commander without a leveled up character and see how that goes. It's worth the challenge. But wait, there's more. Archers. Yes, the wretched archers are here, and they will ruin your day faster than Lubu class.
Tough guy.
Oh my lord. Maybe not that fast, but you get the gist. Another gameplay mechanic introduced in Dynasty Warriors 2 that is prevalent in most modern Warriors titles is the ability to save anywhere on the map. This feature of saving anywhere wasn't technically introduced until Dynasty Warriors 3, but in Dynasty Warriors 2, you have to find the save boxes yourself. This save style forced me to branch out and search the map if I wanted any hope of saving my progress, as well as replenishing your health, which happens whenever you do find a save box. Dynasty Warriors 2 does, however, reward the player for the hold the line tactic, meaning enemy captains and sergeants of officers will drop health once defeated. Shout out to Michael Musso on YouTube for this tip, and other Dynasty Warriors 2 tips as well. Be sure to check out his channel. This challenges you to eliminate enemies without taking damage, especially when you're low on health and near death. Although I still find myself running around maps searching for health because Blitzkrieg super archers constantly stun me, I still find a lot of joy in the challenge. Speaking of no chill, the health replenish of enemy officers in this game is insane. No longer can you text your mom about the meatloaf being ready while spamming the attack button. You do execute a combo or finish your attack chain, you will knock the enemy officer to the ground. When this happens, they instantly replenish health, even without charging up. So keeping the officer on their feet is vital to the gameplay due to the limited chain and combo attacks. Plus, this can only make gameplay uncomfortable in a tense situation, as if we need any more comfortability in modern Warriors games.
It looks like the coalition forces have pulled back out of fear of you.
I try to remain fair and balanced on the criticisms of past and modern Koei Warriors titles, given I've spent more money on them to date than the principal payment of my student loan fiasco. I hope with potential news of Dynasty Warriors 10 on the horizon, something good will come of the 10th installment, seeing as the last 3 Warriors games haven't been the best work, to say the least, from a fan satisfaction perspective. In conclusion, the nostalgic trip of this PS2 launch title is refreshing, but tedious. There's better classics out there if you want to relive the nostalgia of basic hack and slash games. With that being said, however, I do believe Dynasty Warriors 2 laid the foundation for not only the Koei Warriors genres in general, but for the 4 Warriors installments that came after it. So going back to Dynasty Warriors 2 in 2023 will be challenging, even on the easy difficulty. If you want to pick this up on the PS2 hardware, you're looking at $15 to $20 USD. As progression goes for this game, I recommend beating the story with a character from each faction on easy, so you unlock all the maps accessible in free mode. Then, with all the stages unlocked in free mode, you can level up your characters and keep the gameplay fresh, since you can only start one story mode at a time with any given character. In my opinion, Dynasty Warriors 3, 4, and 5 were the best in terms of consistency, replayability, co-op, and combat. But when I need a good challenge or just a broken controller bashed against the table, I revisit this game.
Thank you all for watching. What did you think of Dynasty Warriors 2? Would you like to see it remastered in the future? Let me know in the comments. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.